show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Twitch. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled for 1 hour, meaning that if you're not a subscriber, you need to wait an hour in order to enter a comment chat if you're not a subscriber. Going forward, I'm going to reduce it. Now, the reason why for the subscriber not enabled is my attempt to try to keep the trolls from entering the chat. Or if they are going to enter, they're going to have to subscribe to the channel. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who are already subscribed to the channel. This is a special shout out to the 7 subs that I gained yesterday. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your support, whether it's been since the very beginning or just joined as of yesterday. I really value your input and your appreciation. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly Instagram and TikTok. Your continued support is deeply appreciated. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who watch from the clouds, even the haters, because the haters, what they do is they create pre-press. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, like I said before, if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So therefore, whenever I produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So tonight's episode is open discussion. So what we do here is I discuss various topics on which I would express a point of view, an opinion. Also, the audience will have an opportunity to opine regarding anything that I would discuss tonight. Okay. You could agree or disagree. Okay. I do ask that if you're going to disagree, let's keep it cordial and stick to the facts. Okay. Um, the link to join the panel has been pinned. So at any point, if you feel free to join the panel, you can do so. Let me just let everybody know that if this is your first time here, I will ask that you come up in the backstage. And the reason for that, to make sure that no one goes ahead and try to flash anything X-rated, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down this stream. Okay. So what I'm going to do is the first topic is regarding Alabama's news form of execution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Now, I don't know if this execution have already occurred, um, but this form of execution has created a great deal of controversy, particularly those who are against capital punishment. Okay, so as you see, this article is from NBC News, and as you can see on the headline, Alabama can proceed with first nitrogen gas execution in the U.S. Appeal Court rules. Okay. So, as you can see, Kenneth Eugene Smith was sentenced to death in a murder of hire. He argued that his execution by nitrogen hypoxia could subject him to a super added pain. Now, let me explain to you what it is. Okay. What it is it's an injection where they inject into your bloodstream pure nitrogen. What that does is deprives the body of oxygen, causing the person to lose consciousness and then eventually death. Okay, so that's the issue. Alabama can proceed with its plan to conduct its first execution in the U.S. with nitrogen gas after a federal appeals court wasn't convinced Wednesday that the method violates the constitutional ban on cruel and unusual treatment. Barring any last-minute court or state intervention, Kenneth Eugene Smith, this is the person right here, is set to die as soon as Thursday, which is today, via nitrogen hypoxia, in which a person breathes in only nitrogen and dies of lacks of oxygen. And this picture is the person that's going to receive that type of execution. The majority ruling from the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals concurred with another decision this month by a federal judge in Alabama that sided with the state correction department's intent to use nitrogen gas in Smith's execution. There is no doubt that death by nitrogen hypoxia is new and novel, the majority wrote in its opinion, because we are bound by the Supreme Court precedent. Smith cannot say that the use of nitrogen hypoxia, a new and novel method, will amount to cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the Eighth Amendment itself. In a dissenting opinion, Circuit Judge Jill Pryor said she was worried about what might happen to Smith in the death chamber under an untested method. A cause I feel will be Mr. Smith's human dignity and ours, she wrote. Attorneys for Smith couldn't be immediately reached for comment. With the case of ping-ponging across various courts, Smith lawyers had also petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court to review this case this month. The justices Wednesday rejected this request for a stay of the execution, although the case could come before then again in the final hours based on other legal challenges. Smith, 58, faces execution for his role in the 1988 murder for hire slaying of a preacher's wife in Culper County, Alabama. Sorry. Just give me a moment. I do apologize because I don't usually text. Now, actually, this is not the first attempt to have this individual executed. Okay, just give me a moment. Sorry. Okay, now Alabama approved the use of nitrogen hypoxia for execution in 2018 as the primary method of lethal injection because it's become increasingly difficult shortage of the necessary drugs. Smith had been set to die by lethal injection in November 2022, but the execution was called off when prison staff members were unable to find a suitable vein. That, in addition to other problems related to the use of lethal injections, inmates in Alabama led the state to temporary pause all executions. Alabama jump-started its execution last summer, but sought to put Smith to death by the alternative nitrogen hypoxia given the difficulties with lethal injection. And at an appeals court hearing Friday, the circuit court judges listened to arguments by Smith's defense team suggesting the unusual method of nitrogen hypoxia deserves additional scrutiny. Circuit Court Judge Charles Wilson pointed out that it was Smith who initially agreed to accept nitrogen hypoxia over lethal injection, although it was at a time when the state's protocol haven't been developed. Smith's attorney, Robert Krass, responded that it's nothing. Sorry. I apologize. Okay. Nitrogen is naturally abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere, but if not mixed with the appropriate amount of oxygen, breathing in it can lead to adverse physiological effects such as abnormal fatigue, impaired respiration, vomiting, even death, and medical experts say. The state says it will use a mask attached to Smith's face to feed only nitrogen gas while he's strapped to a gurney in the death chamber. But the outline of the procedure also includes heavily redacted passages related to how oxygen monitoring equipment is calibrated, how the nitrogen hypoxia is operated, including various safety requirements, and the shutdown of the system. So basically, I'm just going to stop it here. Okay. So basically, it's a new. I get it. It is a new method of execution. Okay, and I understand that one of the main reasons is that they could not find a vein to inject the deadly chemicals in order to execute this individual. But I mean, there are other means of execution. Okay, there's hanging, there's the electric chair, there's gunfire, things of that nature. It's a new and a novel means to execute someone. Now, in my opinion is that, first of all, I am against the death penalty. And the reason why I'm against the death penalty leads to two major issues. Number one, our system of justice is such that if you have the money, you can get the best attorneys in the world. Meaning that if you are economically depressed or poor, you have to depend on a court assigned attorney, and sometimes they don't always have the resources. So what happens is people of color do not get the same level of justice as other people with financial means. The other issue is that there's always a possibility that an innocent person can be executed. Okay? And once that happens and they find the real culprit, then it's not like they cannot undo the execution and raise that person from the dead. So that is my issue issues with the death penalty. Now I understand there probably going to be people that will disagree, and I'm sure some of them even have valid points. One thing I would love to do on this platform is actually have a debate with someone advocating the use of capital punishment as a deterrent to crime and someone who opposes capital punishment. I would love to do that. At some point, I think I will be able to do that. I just need to find out who can be the person that will be able to articulate in favor of capital punishment as opposed to someone who is against capital punishment. So as soon as I'm able to have that debate, it will be held. The two parties will present their point of views, and then you, the audience, will decide who has the valid point. That was not originally planned for me to discuss it tonight, but I had to do. I felt that I needed to discuss it. Okay, I could have devoted a complete stream by itself, but I chose not to. But it is something to consider. I mean, I know there are several organizations that are protesting regarding this use of capital punishment. Um, to be honest, I think there's only 3 states that are capable that have the means to conduct this type of execution. One is Alabama, I think the other one's Oklahoma, and the third one I'm not too sure. So, of course, you can state your opinions in either case, for or against. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is false narratives. Now, one thing that I've seen here on this platform, there is an endless supply of false narratives being made. And it usually made against people who they have issues with. Okay? Whether it be rightly or wrongly or anything else in between. And of course, I am no different. People that have stated false narratives about me. Okay, the most common false narrative has been that I'm an old, senile, lonely white guy. First of all, I'm not senile. I have full control of my mental faculties. I'm not Caucasian. Okay, no offense to anyone that is Caucasian. As far as lonely, I'm not lonely. I have a great deal of friends. I also have my family. I also have a huge support uh, base here on this platform of different individuals who support me and support my content. And What's my point of view? I mean, look, people are going to point a negative. Okay. Oh, okay. Good evening. Uh, Good evening, Brooklyn William. Thank you very much for stopping by. I think this is your first time here. Welcome aboard. Okay. So, I mean, look, people are going to express their narratives uh, in whatever method they see fit. Uh, so, in general, the best thing to do is not to get into a long dialogue with these people. Let them spin their narratives Another narrative that a couple of people love to talk about, that supposedly I'm racist. That's funny because there is no racist content in any of my streams. Um, the fact of the matter is this: um, everyone, anyone, and everyone that's walking here on this platform. The only thing I ask is that please be mutually respectable with everyone on the panel and the chat, and one person speaks at a time. That's all I ask. But I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, people are going to say whatever they want. Now, as far as the why, you got me. And sometimes I think that even the people who spread the false narratives don't know the why either. That is just this is a simple fact of life. You have certain people that are jealous on the growth that you managed to achieve and the success that you managed to achieve. Also, you have certain people that have issues with you simply because of the fact that you're cool with certain people. Okay. Now, I get it that people, not everyone is going to have a warm, fuzzy feeling with everybody. I get that. And then there are people that have beefs with other people. I get that. But it's one thing. If you want to go on your respective platforms and blast each other away, by all means, do it to your heart content. When it comes to this platform, leave it at the door. I don't want to get involved in any of your beefs and what have you. Okay. Do not ask me to referee. Do not ask me to take sides. Okay. Now I do have friends, and sometimes my friends have beefs with other people. Okay. That's perfectly fine. Okay. I'm not going to tell them what to do. All I'm going to ask is just don't bring your ish to this platform. Because if you try to bring your ish, guess what? You're going to be shown the door. That's a simple fact. And as far as the why, I can speculate on the why, mainly because they don't like the fact that you're cool with their ops. Another thing that I've seen in these YouTube streets is threats. Okay. First of all, um, I like to think that we're all adults, that we're all able to conduct ourselves with a certain amount of decorum. And I get it. Not everyone is going to like everybody, but the fact of the matter is, if there's someone that you don't like, well, guess what? Don't speak to that person. Don't let that person speak to you, and just keep it moving. Um, One thing that I've been dealing with is a collective of people which I refer to as the circus. And the reason why I refer to them as a circus because they act like a bunch of clowns. You're talking about individuals who are not able to discuss their differences like adults, who have to resort to yelling, screaming, cursing, and making threats. And of course, there have been threats made against me regarding trying to get me terminated from my job. And again, I would just say good luck because I have a spotless record and I've been a municipal employee for almost 25 years. And plus, I belong to a strong union that will fight for me and advocate for me. So, and I gotta admit, some of the threats are comical. Another thing that I had to deal with is unfortunate, which I call, yeah. Let's see. see. I think there's another account here. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's a fact of reality here on this platform. People, for whatever reason, will troll others. They'll try to create fake accounts using another person's picture as a means to trying to cause trouble on creators. Okay. Now, one thing that I consider myself fortunate is that I have been known these YouTube streets for almost 2.5 years. People know me more or less, and people know how I function. Okay. So the only ones are going to be confused are those who don't know me. Okay. All I'm going to say and I'm going to ask is before you pass your judge about me, at least try to get to know me before you make your judgments. So, and as far as YouTube politics is concerned, look, I mean, the reality is this. You're going to have certain people who are going to try to drag you into the circus and pick a side because they're beefing with somebody. Okay. I had my first experience about that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where one individual had a beef with several individuals that I knew and that I was cool with. Then all of a sudden makes a smoke screen, and then all of a sudden my name gets added to the mix, even though I had never said anything against this individual. So therefore, of course, I have to ask the person directly, do you have a beef with me? And the person replied, well, no, I don't have a beef with you, but I just have a beef with the people you hang with. And it's like, look, we are all individuals. I am not accountable for the actions that other people do. I am accountable for the actions of Hossein Negron. I am accountable for the action as it pertains to this platform and all my accounts. I'm not going to waste my time taking accountability over people that I have no control over. Okay, sorry. I am not going to do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Okay? Those that want to do that, by all means, go ahead. Make a jackass of yourself. Okay? The next thing I'm going to be talking about is called healing beeps. There are times where I'll have an issue with a certain individual, and for a while, I will not have any interaction with that person for multiple reasons. However, I do consider a reconciliation if both parties wish to do it, because it takes two parties to resolve an issue. And generally, I'm the type of person I can let bygones be bygones, okay? But I have to see some initiative from your point of view, which is only logical to think about it, okay? Because let's say I have an issue with someone, and let's say I'm willing to resolve the issue, but that person's not willing to resolve the issue. The issue is not going to get resolved. It takes two parties to resolve an issue, okay? And I'm not going to take a gun to their heads in order to convince them to resolve an issue, okay? And again, not everyone has the maturity to act like adults and be responsible. Okay. And sometimes you just gonna have to let it go. Okay. And sometimes you have to learn that there's certain people that you're not gonna be able to resolve your differences. It's not because it's and like a desire on your part. It's just that it takes both parties. Okay. And once I'm able to resolve an issue um, with someone, there's gonna be some time needed to gain that person's trust because I have to take a look and see how you're gonna function. Okay. Because once you violate my trust, you're not gonna get it back right away. I have to see how you're gonna act going forward. I don't believe in dwelling so much in the past, but I do believe in holding someone accountable. And I also believe in waiting the person see how they're going to respond and how they're going to interact with you. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, this is an election year. And of course, we have to decide uh, whether Joe Biden is going to continue to be president of the United States for another 4 years, or we're going to pick someone else. And it's going to look like Donald Trump is going to be the standard bearer for the Republican Party. I know there are people out there who love Donald Trump, who think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, who thinks he's another Jesus and everything like that, and that he cannot do anything wrong, so on and so forth. The fact of the matter is, if that's the case, that means we're going to have to choose between one grumpy old man against another grumpy old man faced with 91 criminal charges. Now, I'm not saying Donald Trump is guilty. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It's just that when you have 91 accusations of criminal activity, that does not bode well for you. Okay. But what's even worse is you have some of those followers of Trump that basically treat the organization like a cult. And sometimes I refer to them as a mega sheep cult. Good evening, Irby. How you doing tonight? Thank you very much for stopping by. So tonight tonight is open discussion. Okay. And actually I don't know if you heard about it, Irby, but in Alabama they're gonna use a new form of execution where they inject pure nitrogen into the bloodstream, of which the person suffocates to death because they deprive oxygen. Yes, come on, folks. Come on, cloud watchers. That's right. Hit the like button. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to cost you anything, but it does help out the algorithm. So I've given my point of view um, regarding this form of execution. It's novel. It's new. It's never been done before. I know there are people. Yeah, I happen to be. Yeah, I happen to be against the death penalty as well. The reason why is, first of all, let's keep it real. We don't have the greatest courts justice system in the world, and basically the people who are poor, who a lot of them are a minority, uh, don't always get the best form of justice. Number one. Number two, there's always a possibility that an innocent person can be executed. Okay. So the fact of the matter is, if you execute the wrong person, it's not like you can't raise that person to life again. So those are the reasons why I am against the death penalty. I would love to have a debate on this platform as soon as I can get um, two people for the debate. Um, one that's for the death penalty and one that's against the death penalty. Um, it'll be on. I don't know what some of the people that I know of, how they stand about with capital punishment. I would love to get their feedback. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the okay. I'm gonna ask those who are watching. Okay, this question: are you in favor of capital punishment or against? Okay, this is a judgment-free area. If you're for the death penalty, it's okay. You can enter your comment. I'm not gonna make any issue with it. If you're against the death penalty, you can also put your comment there. Okay, and you can express your opinion um, without any fear. Yeah. Well, that I don't know. That I don't know. But the fact of the matter is this: it is a new form of capital punishment, and the crazy part is the guy actually, in the beginning, wanted this type of execution, and then I guess he changed his mind, which you know everyone's entitled to change their mind. I just wish he had changed his mind regarding having the preacher's wife being killed. Now, my understanding that the reason it was a murder for hire by a preacher that was in debt and wanted to collect on the life insurance from his wife. Okay, which that is not a very good statement when you think about it. That a person that supposedly is ordained by God uh, to preach the gospel to actually have to hire someone to unlive their wife. Okay, that's not a good statement in any stretch of the imagination. Okay, uh, look, we in my language we have a saying: mejor se queda solo en vez de ser mal acompañado, which literally translates into English: it's better to be alone to be badly accompanied or badly joined. But anyway, so as far as, like I said, as far as the presidential elections, it looks like it's going to be Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. I am not happy with either choice. Okay, but that's what the people want. So they cannot complain whether when one of those two get elected or reelected, and then they start doing things that they don't like. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, first of all, I want to give a huge welcome, a huge thank you to all my new subs. Okay, I find the fact that I've gained so many subs uh, within the last 90 days. I've gained over 70 subs, and that's something that really, really touched my heart. And I really appreciate the fact that so many people have seen fit to subscribe to this channel. I mean, You could have gone and subscribed to any other platform, but you chose to subscribe to me. Okay. And all I'm just trying to do is share a little bit of wisdom that I managed to gain in my 61 plus years of life. I don't claim to be an expert. Okay. I'm not a guru. I'm not a life coach. I'm just a simple person trying to produce content which I hope that you find pleasure with. Okay. Um, the fact of the matter is, a lot of the subs that I've gained is through the shorts and short videos I've done. I really appreciate it, and it really says a lot. Okay. And what I will ask all of you to do is please spread the word regarding this channel, and and if you find any value with what I say, please subscribe to this channel. Irving, question. I know you was thinking about doing your channel. When are you gonna do your own channel? Okay. You know what? I believe, you know what? We do need new blood. Okay, we do. Now, I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it again. No one over the age of 60 should run for politics. Hey, Ramon, good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. We're just having another episode of open discussion. So we were just talking a few things that was on my chest. I don't know if you are aware that in the state of Alabama, they're using a new form of execution where the person injects pure hydrogen um, into your body, of which excuse me, of which the person dies of apoxia. In other words, they die because they're not receiving any oxygen, and that has caused a great deal of controversy. First of all, because it is a new form of execution. I don't know if it's been tested. Okay. And also, it caused a great deal of controversy with certain groups who are against the death penalty. So I don't know whether or not they have succeeded in deleting this person through nitrogen apoxia. But if I find out any information, I will share it with this audience. And of course, a huge shout out to the 12 people watching this stream as we speak. I would appreciate that please hit that like button. It's not going to cost you anything, but it does help with the algorithm. Okay. So, and of course, the link to join the panel has been pinned. So, should anyone wishes to join the panel, hit the link. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is that you have certain individuals who love to create drama. Why? I have no idea. But it seems like they cannot function without creating some sort of drama. Okay. And I look at things a little bit differently than other people do. Part of it has to do with the fact that I'm older now. Okay. But people just love to create drama. It's like they are unable to function in peace. And I see this not just here on these YouTube streets, but I also see it in my daily walk. Okay, and at times at times at I seen okay okay I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. I don't know if you have Instagram, but if you do, just look me up. My Instagram name is cute1ny. Uh, Usually, I will post it on the banner. It's just that uh, the reason why I posted this one is that just to let people know that if anyone tries to share my content without my permission, they will be hit with a copyright strike. Okay. And if you get hit with enough of those, your channel will be deleted. Okay. I don't wish that on anybody, but that is something that it does occur. I've seen um, individuals who have channels deleted simply because they chose to air other people's content without their consent. Okay. And it's only fair because look, when you are a serious YouTube creator, you have to devote the time and the energy to do your research regarding any topic. Okay. The last thing you need is to have people copy your material, put your material on their platforms and make it out like it's theirs. Okay. That's a reason why YouTube frowns on such activity. And the fact of the matter is, you have creators who had their channels deleted because of that. Okay. Now, the next topic I like to call ignore the noise. Now, what is the noise? The noise is basically those individuals who love to paint a false narratives about you and try to make it out like you're anything but a child of God. Okay. I've been in these YouTube streets for almost 2.5 years. And again, people know what type of person I am and what is my reputation. So when you don't ignore the noise and just try to engage with them, what it does is gives them more ammunition and gives them more reason to continue with the noise. So the best thing for you to do is just ignore the noise. Now for next week, I will be doing my streams on Monday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night. Okay. And at this point, I have not given much thought regarding what's going to be the topic for Monday stream. I will make like a short video about it um, this weekend because that I've been very busy, and sometimes and you have to take a considerable amount of time um, to create, to think of these topics. Uh, Ramon, I just like to ask you a question. What is your view on the death penalty? What is your view on capital punishment? Are you in favor of it or you're against it? If you wish to enter your opinion on that point of view, you're more than welcome to do so, and you don't have to worry about me making any judgments about it. I mean, everyone has their own view when it comes to capital punishment, And it's the same thing regarding reproductive rights. Everyone has an opinion. There's some pro pro choice and others are pro life. Here, everybody's views is respected, and everyone is allowed to express their views as they see fit, with the understanding that they're going to do so without imposing their views on other people. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. Another thing that I would do, I don't like to do this, but it's necessary. Uh, I will be reporting people who violate um, the community guidelines, okay, which are numerous. They cover the areas as far as copyright infringement, also cover the areas as far as uh, publishing one's private data, also making threats. Okay, I will report them to YouTube. Okay, if you don't like it, well then don't do it. It is that simple. Okay, I've done a few, and I will continue to do so. Okay, let's see what else. And before I start to wrap this up, I'd just like to get your thoughts. Okay, is there anything that you have in your mind? Um, you're free to put it in the chat, and I will discuss it. Okay. Now, some things, if it gets to be um, has to that borders on hate speech or anything that violates the community guidelines, I will have to decline and make a comment about it because the reality is this: I am not going to air any anything that will violate the community guidelines. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. She kind of comes across as someone that's not exactly all there. But then again, when you think of the mega crowd, that doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay. Um, let me ask you. Okay, Ramon. Let me ask you a question. Um, Alabama is going to use this form of the death penalty where they inject pure hydrogen, and what is the person suffocates to that because of lack of oxygen. So my question is, I don't know if you follow up on that issue and if you have an opinion. Okay, if you're able to come on the platform and express it, that's fine. If you wish to stay and do it from the chat, that's also fine. Okay. Um, I know, of course, there's always been a lot of controversy um, whether or not capital punishment is a deterrent of crime. I do know there have been numerous ways to legally delete someone. Let me just put the link. I thought I pinned it, but I'll. Okay, excuse me. I thought I pinned the link, but I'll put it in. You know, okay. Okay, well, the link has been pinned. If you want to join the panel and express your point of view, by all means do so. Okay. But it would, it would be an interesting discussion. Okay. Just give me a moment to try and see if I can. Because I actually thought I pinned it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me see this. You know what? Let me see. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. You know what? You know what? Let me do. Okay. Okay. I'm having a little trouble pinning the link. Just give me a moment. Okay. I actually thought I actually pinned the link. But you know what? There's a first time for everything, folks. There is a first time for everything. And I guess, okay. Okay. I just pinned it. What I had to do? I had to like open up another window. Uh, for some reason, I couldn't do it from my phone. But in any case, the link is in the chat, and I pinned it. Okay. So now my question is: will there be other states that's going to try to use this form of legal deletion? I always find it crazy that right wing pro life and anti. Okay. Now, before I let my guests in, let me just state for the fact that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy material without the consent is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views people might hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. Now I'm going to bring in my guest. Good evening, Mamon.
Good evening, Don Jose. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. So how you doing today?
All right. I'm doing okay. I mean, it's not as cold as it was a few days ago, so it's better. That's better. It needs to start to warm up already. I know that we still have to deal with the month of February, but aside from that, I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be. We can deal with it. We don't have to deal with blizzards or ice storms, not anytime soon.
Well, unfortunately, we have not had one day of winter this year. In fact, today it got into the 50s, unfortunately.
Oh, that's good.
No, I find it very depressing.
No. Cold and gray skies and not being able to move around, that will depress me.
Well, it's funny because I mean, when it gets
Mhm.
cold, it actually put an extra pep in my step.
No. Well, I don't know how we could put a pep on my step if I can't walk around to begin with.
You
Without,
can.
I mean, I could end up slipping and falling and bust my ass.
I
I
mean,
sure
come on.
don't want that.
Come on. You just have to wear a sweater. That's all. When the temperature reaches down
Nah.
to 20s and 30s, I mean, no big deal.
No. That's not for me. Not for me.
Okay. So
Oh man.
tonight we're having an open discussion. I started out with the state of Alabama is
Mhm.
going to have its first execution by injecting pure nitrogen into the body.
Yes. Well, is I understand that the nitrogen is gonna be in gas form, in which, when it comes to the inmate, the person that is being executed, they're gonna substitute oxygen with nitrogen. Now,
Yes.
supposedly, the way that they describe it is that when there is the substitution between the oxygen and the gas, um, in a matter of seconds, the person will pass out. So there is not supposed to be this suffering. They're not gonna make the inmate go through like an extreme pain before dying. Now that will be more consistent with something that is actually part of the Bill of Rights. The Eighth Amendment says that excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. That should mean that when it comes to punishing somebody, there shouldn't be torture, or there shouldn't be methods that will cause extreme pain. Now, for a long time, I don't know if they're still doing it in Florida, but in Florida they had the electric chair. I mean, that's I don't want to imagine how painful the electric chair must be. Um, but that was basically putting a person to fry up a person that is going to be executed. I mean, they cannot bypass the whole no cruel and no unusual and cruel punishments. But I don't know if they still do it in Florida. But I remember that for a long time, until relatively recently, in Florida, they were executing people with the electric chair, which is basically running currents, high voltage currents, through uh, somebody who's been condemned to death by execution. But this nitrogen method it is supposed to be much more humane, and that's supposed to make it possible to kind of like the person is forced to breathe the nitrogen, and the person is supposed to, within seconds, is supposed to pass out and then dies. So it's not supposed to cause extreme pain. That's my understanding. Mhm. Now,
Yeah.
as to the morality
Good
of it,
evening.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Good evening, Don Amano. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Okay. When it comes to the morality of it all, I'm not the best person to ask about that, because there are cases of extreme violence and extreme cases of extreme cases of murder, that that whoever perpetrates that cannot be rehabilitated, and I mean, they have caused so much pain and so much suffering that they are only going to be a burden to the system and to the taxpayer, and to, as long as it is beyond proven, beyond reasonable doubt, then I guess I can't say that I completely disagree. I mean, because they shouldn't become a burden. They shouldn't become a burden to the state. They have already caused enough of a burden, enough pain. and you can. And this is me. I come from a place where there is no such thing as the death penalty, but there are very extreme cases in which I can't really have a problem with it.
Well, I mean, the issue I have with capital punishment
Mhm.
is that, first of all, the court system is not equitable across the board. So therefore, a person who's um, charged with this crime, and if they don't have good, adequate legal representation,
Mm.
they can be deleted legally. And plus, there's always the fear that you can delete legally the wrong person, and then you cannot undelete the person.
Mhm.
So, one of the things I would love to do at some point is have a debate on this platform where one person who is in favor of the capital punishment will articulate their point of view,
Mhm.
and then someone who's against it will articulate their point of view, and then the audience would decide.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also another thing to bear in mind is that those who are sentenced to capital punishment, I mean, it can take years before they actually perform the, the justice, the deed of legal deletion.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like in the situation with this case with this Alabama case. This is for somebody who was convicted in 1988. I
Yeah.
mean, he may have been condemned to execution, but
Right.
um, he was found guilty all the way back in 1988, and it's only now that they are getting around getting the inmate executed. Now, if there have been any kind of
Gotcha.
benefit for the state to keep him alive, then I don't know. I don't know.
Good evening, Don Armando. We're sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you. She was 94 years old. She lived a grand life, and I was around your neck of the woods today, so I was with a lot of
Yeah.
family and such. So I actually on the way of on my way back home. So, but talking about the death, I mean, this is my thing. I mean, the death penalty when you actually look at it like from thousands of years ago, you had a lot of people who got deleted and a lot of innocent people that got deleted, whether it be political or that they deserved it. Now, since there's a fear of that, we don't know what is right because in court cases and such, it's just only evidence, and then on top of it, you have a lot of people who are trying to put false evidence on innocent people. So, with that said, that will be the best debate when you ever have it on capital punishment. So, and then there's a lot of people who actually run that risk also, and it shows time and again in American history that there were certain people who shouldn't have been deleted because of capital punishment.
Well, actually, from what I've read, they did try to execute the person through lethal injection, but they couldn't find a vein to inject the chemicals.
Right.
So, I don't know. For all we know, they could have actually executed the person as we speak. I mean,
Right.
if there's
I
any,
understand. I understand that they should be doing that tomorrow. Yeah.
okay,
Right.
I'm reading about it. I am reading about it, and it's saying something about that they're gonna be doing that tomorrow. Hmm.
Right.
yeah.
Yo, Ramon, how's everything? And Happy
Hey.
New Year, by the way.
Hey, you too. You too. What's going on? I'm hearing that somebody close to you passed away. Are you all right?
Yeah, it was my aunt. So that was like the matriarch of the family. That was like my
Oh,
older
yeah,
sister.
yeah,
She was
yeah.
she was
Basically,
94
the
years old.
only how old she was?
94.
Well, she lived fairly long, a fairly
Yeah,
long life.
yeah. So
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
all right.
so it's like older aunts. Now I can say that older aunts and uncles on my mom's side have gone to paradise. So you know,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. I talked to my aunt. I have an aunt that she's 75, and I keep telling
right,
her, you're gonna live a long time more. You're gonna live a long time.
right,
And she's like, oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to live so much longer. I mean that like spiritually, she's ready. She's kind of ready
right,
to transcend, if you
right.
will. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I keep telling
Gotcha.
her, nah, you're gonna live a long time. You're gonna live a whole bunch of years more. You ain't going nowhere. But she is like, no, that she doesn't want to. She doesn't really want to. I mean, she will hold on as much as she can, but at the same time, she is not like holding on, trying to live forever or something. But I
Gotcha.
mean, I'm sorry for your loss, but I do wish for my aunt to live that long. Mhm.
I hear you. Well, in that way, I'm on my way. So, it might cut in and out, but I just had to make for princess on your panel. You know what I'm saying? It was nice talking to you,
Okay.
both of you, John.
All
All
right. Thank you
right,
very
all
much for
right. Take it
stopping
easy,
by,
man.
and safe travels to you.
Take it
Thank you.
easy, dude. All right.
Yeah. Irby, as far as I can tell, the person was actually guilty of the crimes he committed. So, you see, what's another issue is that a person can go through, wait 20, 30 years before they actually do the legal deletion because they got to go through appeals and things of that, and all sorts of motions raised. So, I mean, so it's like basically we're housing these people um, for at least a generation.
What do you mean? I didn't
Okay,
understand.
I'm talking about
Uh-huh.
um, when a person is actually found guilty
Yes.
and is given capital punishment.
Mhm.
I mean, it could be a good 20 to 30 years before they actually execute the sentence.
There has to be a reason for it. I mean, somehow the state because a prisoner is a ward of the state, and somehow the state is getting some type of benefit out of this inmate that's supposed to be executed. There has to be a reason. There has to be a logic to that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is that they have them doing forced hard labor during all those years, and that's how they get benefit out of it. Because you know that in the United States, when it comes to inmates, when it comes to the it's called the industrial prison complex for a reason, because there is some benefits to having as many inmates as possible, and there is a lot of money involved. I mean,
Well,
having inmates manufacture things. It's not just license plates. It's a myriad of things.
well, let's keep it real. Uh, they actually pay these inmates, which is more or less slave wages. I mean, when they make pennies a day
Mhm.
doing whatever job they're doing, whether it be maybe in the kitchen or doing yard work or maybe working, in maintenance, things of that nature. So it's almost free labor.
Yes, yes. This is that's something that we have talked about, because if you look at in the amendments to the Constitution, We all know about the 13th Amendment, right? The 13th
Yes.
Amendment is the one that is supposed to prohibit slavery. It's supposed to be the abolition of slavery. But a lot of people don't read the whole amendment. I happen to have it here, and it says Amendment 13, abolition of slavery. The 13th Amendment was proposed on January 31st, 1865. I ratified. Yeah, this is some notes that I have on the book that I have. It was proposed on January 31st, 1865, and ratified on December 6, 1865. Um, section Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. You see, a lot of people don't read the whole thing. Let's see that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. And then you keep reading because it's divided into sections. It starts saying, Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. The Section 2 says Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So basically, it does say that you shouldn't have slavery or involuntary servitude, but that's it. It starts saying neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, and then comes the long exception. Yeah. So to a degree, slavery is still allowed. It is in the amendment itself. The same amendment that's supposed to say you are not supposed to have slaves. It also says you can have slavery, but it is if somebody has been convicted of a crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there. You can read it yourself.
Of course, you have some people who are not able to rationalize and logically decipher information. I mean, basically, what we did was we got rid of chattel slavery and then we turned it to another form of forced labor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's via the prison system. That's the slavery that has been going on ever since 1865.
Yeah, it is true. Well, question, Ramon, when you gonna be doing another stream?
I was thinking about doing one tonight, but once again, you beat me to the punch. I wanted to do another open. I wanted to do especially an open topics. I wanted to do an open topics, but here comes Jose. He beats me to the punch once again. Aye. You did it again. But I want to do something soon. If not tomorrow, then on Saturday, maybe earlier in the day. There is a possibility I might do something earlier in the day. Not wait until late in the evening or something, because I don't see the point in that. As long as I can get some type of an audience during the day, then I'll do it during the day. I won't wait until the evening. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm happy with the amount of growth that my platform has gained.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, again, you have been consistent, so your channel should grow. Mine is the one that doesn't go anywhere. It's on me. It's on me.
I mean, yesterday, believe it or not, I actually gained another 7 subs.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yes. But look, I get it. It's not easy to devote the time that you need to produce content. I mean, we all work, okay? It does take a lot of time to, first come up with a topic, then do the research. So it can, it could be time, it's time consuming, okay? So not everyone has the time um, to produce content. And also, let's keep it real. There have been quite a few people that's been sort of on a YouTube sabbatical, so to speak.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, it may have something to do with it being the beginning of the year, and they are putting more attention on things that are seemingly more important. You see that there are other content creators that you don't see them as much, but maybe it's because of the time of the year. Maybe it's because um, the fact that having to deal with all this cold can be kind of depressing, and nobody wants to tell. Nobody wants to be online uh, talking to people because there is no motivation. I mean, it's hard to be motivated in the middle of the of that cold that some people have to deal with. Thankfully, not so much me because of where I'm at, but you guys in the northeast that have to deal with this with all these blizzards. I mean, I will be depressed too. I wouldn't be too motivated to be doing content either. Except you,
Well,
of course.
first of all,
You
okay,
are the major exception.
okay. First of all, we have not had a cold day in winter. Okay,
I'm gonna have to defer to Kishel on that one. Like, I'm sure that she will say something else.
I mean, come on. I mean, come on. We haven't had any day when the temperature dropped down to single digits and anything like that. So it's been a very depressing, non-existent winter.
No, the winter is what's depressing. It needs to warm up again.
Well, would you believe I actually did a stream regarding my favorite season?
We know it's your favorite season. I'm sure. I'm positive that. I'm sure you did. I'm sure
Mhm.
you did.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, when you think about it, think of all the holidays that are in wintertime. You have Christmas, you have Hanukkah, you have Three Kings Day, you have New Year's Eve, you have Kwanzaa, you have um, the feast to Our Lady of Altagracia. I mean, come on. I mean, you don't have that in the summertime.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
No. Well, I mean, I still like me some warm weather. It's still better.
I mean, just think. I mean, just think of all the benefits you can have by being around cold weather.
No, there is no benefit.
Yes, it is.
Risking hypothermia, risking catching a bad cold, risking getting bronchitis, risking getting into an accident because of all the slippery roads and ice and sleet. No, there is nothing you can say that's gonna make me change my mind.
Then
That's it.
explain to me. Then explain to me how come I don't get sick in the wintertime.
You don't get sick in the winter time. I would. I get sick in the winter time if I'm not careful.
I mean, let me tell you something. On the day when it gets nice and cold, I'm the happiest person on the block.
I know you do. I know you are. I know you are.
Hmm. So, well, you know what's going to happen on the first day of spring?
On the first day of spring, what's going
Yes.
to happen in the first day of spring?
I'm going to start my countdown until the first day of winter.
Uh, you should only start doing that after summer. I mean, it's too soon to be thinking about that. Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if I had complete climate control worldwide?
No, we have talked about it, and no, you will become a tyrant, and the rest of us
Well,
will suffer.
no, I would be a benevolent dictator.
No such thing.
Okay.
You know there is
First
no
of
such
all,
thing.
winter will be only 4 months long.
Mm-mm,
Okay. And
mm-mm.
of course, it'll be my definition of winter.
Yeah, it will be like being in the North Pole. That North Pole temperatures. Yeah, that's your definition. So no thanks. No thanks.
And I will allow 3 days out of the year to reach 90 degrees.
No, no, no. No, because no, I'm gonna start feeling cold. Let's talk about something else. Yeah, I dread the cold. Needs to warm up already. Go back
Come
to
on.
90 degrees or something.
No, we need to go down, say 10 degrees. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
No.
But
No, when it was kind of like in the 20s a few days back. Ugh. And
oh, you
no,
lucky
no, no,
you.
no, 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 Lucky nothing. Lucky nothing. It was
Oh man, I'm
I
jealous of
was
you.
miserable. I was miserable.
I'm jealous of you.
No, no.
I mean,
You can have it. You can have it.
why couldn't it have been this way in New
No, but
York?
thankfully it's not like that anymore. It's now around 50. I can handle 50.
I find it depressing.
Okay.
But in any
Now it's
case,
about 50. That's that. Yeah, I can handle it.
I mean, come on,
Yep.
what's the big deal if it drops down, say, to like single digits? I mean, it's no big deal.
Mm-mm. No, that's no good. That's no good.
Okay.
So when it comes to the subjects that you were talking about, that was the only one, the whole thing with Alabama.
No, that
Because
was
I know
a big
that.
part of it. No, that was that, and I also talked about what I like to call YouTube politics, when people have beefs with other people and they don't like it when you have an issue. If you're cool with the people that you have beef with, and there was something, they include you in the stupidity. Um, it's basically guilt by association.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's been like that since forever. When who you are associated with, it is assumed that you are like them. I mean, even on the island, there is the saying that goes, "Tell me who you hang around with. Tell me who you hang around, and I'll tell you who you are."
Yeah.
So that's an old saying back on the island. Hmm.
Well, another person is spreading the narrative that I'm racist.
But there have been. We know there have been people that have been saying that for a long time, but it's baseless. It's always been baseless, and they have never been able to prove it. So don't worry about it.
No, I'm not worried about it. But there's a certain individual has gone talking about he's going to try to get me fired from my job.
Well, yeah, you see, that's crossing a line. That's kind of like trying to mess with somebody's livelihood and over something that is not true to begin with.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't happen. They don't succeed
Well,
in that because yeah.
what helps me is, first of all, I have a I have a gr- I mean I have I'm a no I'm a good employee. Number one. Number
Hmm.
two, they're gonna have to go through a lengthy process to get me terminated, and my union will step in to defend me. So it's like, you really want to spend your time and energy trying to get me fired? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all because of the fact that I'm associating with people that certain individuals do not like. Big deal.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. They don't. They can control. They can control you. So don't worry about it.
no, no. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop to wrap this up. Do you think you'd be able to hang out for like a brief moment in the backstage?
Yeah, I can be there for a few minutes. There's something I do have to take care of, but yeah, we can talk. We can talk a little bit.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take final remarks. So I'm gonna pass the mic to the lover of cold, who wants to be buried in snow, who thinks Orchard Beach is the most beautiful beach in the world, who thinks Orchard Beach is the French Riviera of the Bronx,
No.
who think the water is so pure it's almost drinkable. Okay,
Oh hell no.
who thinks that Parkchester is heaven on earth, who wants to go to Times Square in shorts and sandals to watch the ball drop, and is hoping and praying to come to New York when New York gets to be near zero. The introvert Boricua.
No. Thank you, Jose. But no, none of that is true. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of the winter, in the middle of cold ass winter in New York City. Hell no. I catch bronchitis. I mean, it will kill me. I mean, I get bronchitis symptoms. It will take me like a month to heal from that. So no, hell no. I could go back when it's actually warm again. Sometime at some point, I guess I could do that. But yeah. I mean, aside from that, Jose, I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. And yeah, when it comes to the subject that we were sharing about, it's controversial, but there are instances in which I cannot be completely against it. I know that there are people, because of moral reasons, that are completely against it, no matter the circumstance. But there are instances in which I'm not completely against it. But it has to be always in cases that have been proven beyond reasonable doubt. Because I know that there have been people that have been sentenced to death row, that have been innocent, and that they were convicted based on circumstantial evidence. It wasn't sorted out properly, and it was only later on, when a DNA test was made available, then it was proven. That's when it was completely proven, and that has saved many lives from death row. I understand that there are people that do get sentenced to death row in error, but still, if we're talking about cases that are proven beyond reasonable doubt, I can't say I'm completely against it. There are instances in which there are murderers that are just monsters, and I don't mind them being put down. So that's it. That's what I got. That's all there is to it. That's how I see it. That's my stand on that. And once again, Don Jose, I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. I look forward to the next one.
Okay, well, thank you very much for stopping by. And of course, I would encourage all of you to please subscribe to the Introvert Boricua. He does present some quality content. So let's help follow Boricua out. And let's check out Don Armando's channel as well. Thank you very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the backstage.
All right. Shout out to the chat.
Yes. Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. It wasn't meant to be a discussion regarding capital punishment. It's just something that I decided to add on. I was thinking about doing a separate stream, but I figured, you know what? Let me just discuss it. It is controversial due to the fact it's never been done, and whether or not it is painless. Everyone's going to have to make up their minds regarding whether it be pro capital punishment or anti-capital punishment. I appreciate everyone that appeared on the chat and those who appear on the panel. I will have a stream on Monday at 8 o'clock. I will do a short video regarding what's going to be the topic, just to let everybody know. And of course, all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments after the stream is over. Let's just keep it positive, okay? Let's just keep it, respectable. And of course, we must do everything possible to minimize our content with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by the stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I just want to say thank you very much. Take care, peace, and have a blessed night. Take care.